Gestational diabetes. What is it? What symptoms occur? How does it affect me and how does it affect my baby? Does it affect how I deliver my baby? What can I do to combat gestational diabetes? What are the complications if I ignore this? Do I keep diabetes after I give birth to my baby? Does it stay with me forever? If you are wondering any of these questions, follow along. Hi, my name is Vanya, and I'm here to tell you that gestational diabetes is not your fault. Gestational diabetes occurs depending on how your hormones affect your body during pregnancy. I am also here to tell you that you are not alone, and 5% of pregnant women do get gestational diabetes. So, gestational diabetes is when the insulin's maker, which is the pancreas, cannot create or make enough insulin. So, without the adequate amount of insulin, the amount of sugar in the blood rises. And when this occurs, there is no one to take the sugar out of the blood, and this can then in turn create different issues that may come up in your pregnancy and affect your baby. So this is where the problem lies. The symptoms of gestational diabetes. These can be anything from dehydration, which is unusual thirst, frequent urination, fatigue, nausea, blurred vision, and vaginal, bladder, and skin infections. So you might be saying, this sounds like pregnancy. And you're right, it pretty much does. This just shows that many women go through their whole trimester and even some of the second thinking that they are pretty much fine, not knowing that they actually have gestational diabetes. What can I do to combat gestational diabetes? How can I help me and my baby? So let's start with foods. Your key diet for gestational diabetes should be a very balanced one. Lean protein, low carbs. So like squash, green vegetables. Try to eat complex carbohydrates instead of simple carbohydrates. So try to eat sweet potato instead of English potato, instead of white rice, instead of bread. Cut out all those things because those just heighten your blood sugar. Also, try taking in foods that fight inflammation, like turmeric, omega 3, your ginger. So stock up on your ginger teas and stuff like that. Also, try to eat a lot of greens, a lot of vegetables, spinach, cabbage, lettuce, greens. Make sure that you are not deficient in vitamin D, along with boosting your magnesium intake. You can also try to get a good night's rest every single night. Yes, I know you're pregnant, I know it's hard, baby be all over the place, baby be doing what he or she wants, but that will really refresh you for the next day ahead. And also, cut the snacking to a minimum, especially before bedtime, because your snack would affect your sugar levels for the following morning. So try to have a solid dinner to help you. The next and final thing I would advise is to exercise at least 20 minutes a day. So a frequently asked question is, does diabetes affect the delivery of my baby? And the answer is no. Once you follow all of your doctor's instructions and do everything you need to do, gestational diabetes would not be a factor to you having to give birth early or you having to have a C-section instead of a vaginal delivery. Keep in mind that some women who do not have gestational diabetes end up having a C-section. So gestational diabetes, once treated correctly and follow instructions, will not be a factor in C-sections or early births. So what occurs if your gestational diabetes is not treated? So for one, you may end up having a C-section, which is known as a cesarean birth. You may also develop high blood pressure. Now, this is when the force of blood onto your blood vessel walls are too high, and this in turn causes stress upon your heart and it affects your pregnancy. Now, if that occurs, it can also turn into preeclampsia. So, preeclampsia is when, along with high blood pressure, pregnant ladies' hearts, their kidneys, and their livers are not working up to par. High blood pressure and preeclampsia can heighten the risk of you having a premature baby. Other complications that your baby may have because of your gestational diabetes not managed effectively is that they may born with jaundice, they may later on in life have obesity, or they may even get diabetes themselves. So it is crucial to be in close contact with your doctor, to obey their orders and do everything that they tell you to do to ensure that your baby comes out just perfect and healthy. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I find one thing informative or something that you can take from it. And if you did, please give me a like, a comment, and subscribe. Enjoy the rest of the day, and I hope that you have a healthy, beautiful baby boy or girl.